Episode 5 of the Cheese Money Podcast. How's everybody doing?
I'm all right.
All right, cut. Everybody have a good
What's up,
week.
everybody?
Take 70.
Stop. Okay, that's for real. Cut. Oh God, dude.
Well, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
We're falling apart.
Let's take it. Let's take it again.
We're not
Let's take
taking it again.
You gotta snap at it.
This is
Snap at it. There you go.
I widen my eyes. This time I'm gonna flare my nostrils to see if it picks up on that.
We keep it real here. Oh! The camera's
Come
like,
on, camera.
no!
Come on, camera.
You talking about a squid mouth?
Oh God.
So I went to the movies this week after like 6 months.
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all. Is that? Oh, that's dope.
I like that.
How long have you had that, or did you just get that?
I ordered it in the first bundle of mugs that I got.
Yeah, that's dope, dude.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm
have
not
like a mug
right-handed.
subscription box?
No, I haven't found anything like that yet. I just have to keep shopping. This
Have
is
you
the
looked
last
for
one.
it? Because I'm pretty sure they would have one.
I guess I'm gonna have to look for that. That might be a good idea.
Yeah.
And then here's the side you're gonna be seeing because I'm left-handed, but I have to drink,
Drink
out
out of the
Sip
shield.
from
No,
the edge, yeah.
Drink out of the shield. Yep.
That seems like a mess, dude.
Yep.
That's gonna be problematic for sure. But
Yeah.
this one will
Mine's
go
not
on the shelf
nearly-
and never be used again.
Mine looks like it's made for like my wife. It says "Daddy" and it's got a heart right here,
Nice.
and it's got.
Thatty.
Mm. So
Oh, that's what I thought it meant. I just got a souvenir Guardians of the Galaxy cup because it's the biggest cup I have.
filled
in
with
my-
Nice.
vodka and soda.
I keep having these ideas for like these 4 or 5 second skits that I think I'm eventually gonna have to put together. I had one earlier of a guy who doesn't know how to drink yet, and he sits down at a bar and he's like, "Hey, let me get a whiskey vodka," and that's the whole skit.
Oh God.
I thought you meant like
Like physically. Like on the
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I guess
whiskey vodka. Somebody was like, "Have you ever had a Four Horsemen?" And I was like,
just like
"What is that? Is that some?" And I was like, Four Horsemen. And yeah, he goes, "Yeah, it's whiskey, vodka, rum, and gin all mixed together on ice, and you just
No.
drink it." And I was like,
why?
"You just made that up when you were like blackout.
Yeah.
That's a cool name, but no, absolutely not."
Have you ever just tried to get like really, really hammered in like 6 seconds?
You ever just stir up
like
a bunch of dirt in your vodka?
It's like a chronic alcoholics Long Island. It's
Yeah.
just it's just liquor and ice. No kind of mixer whatsoever.
Isn't that what you were drinking last night?
Absolutely not. No. I'm a moderate alcoholic.
Oh, we didn't. We never
Just
mentioned. I guess this will be our first week without mentioning. He shall not be mentioned.
Well, not
There
now.
we go.
Good saved. Nope,
No.
you didn't say it.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
So Wednesday, and Wednesday's kind of a day where nobody's at the movies anyways, but
I didn't know where you're going with that. Yeah.
well, I started talking about
Wednesdays, am I
horror
right?
movies. No.
Yeah.
And it was I guess it wasn't like super weird because they all the movie theaters have started doing the reserve your own seats where you can either do it on an app or you can do it at the theater and they'll ask you what seats you want to go to. Do y'all have that in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So except now when you buy seats, they cut off the 2 seats on either side of you.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough room in front to where it's socially distanced enough, but
So you don't have to wear a mask the whole time?
I don't know. But I figured since they didn't have any signs up. I mean, you obviously have to wear a mask in there, but I think it's kind of the same as you go into a restaurant and sitting down to where you go in there, you walk around it all, you have to wear a mask. But once you sit down with whoever you're with, you can take it off and kind of just relax.
Yeah, it's weird how the virus like doesn't spread when you're sitting, but it does when you're walking. Such a smart virus.
Like it's logical because they socially distance the seats and everything, but and whoever you're with, I'm assuming, I don't know.
You've been sucking face with, so you have, you both of you have the virus.
Well, I was gonna say that. So I went with George, and
yeah,
I was telling somebody at work that there were only like 2 other couples there. When I said couples, I was like, I mean, you know what I mean. And the weird thing, or not the weird thing, it was a weird, almost bad first trip back to the movies because we went and saw Tenet. I don't know if y'all have ever Gigs, have you seen the trailer for that? It's Christopher Nolan's new movie. He did Inception and the Batmans and Memento, and this movie has been in development for I guess a while. But Nolan has a way about not telling you anything about the movie in the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going into this. It was kind of the same way with Inception. You just get some cool visuals, and you're like, you just have more questions than answers. And it's basically like he took Inception and was like, all right, so we're gonna make it to where nobody knows what's going on. It's so Inception didn't really have to do with time. It was just like, I guess it did in some ways, but so, and I told myself I wasn't going to explain what the movie is about, but there's a reality where things move forward in time, and then there's a reality where things move backward in time, or things are inverted due to some kind of radiation exposure to where they're inverted and things move backwards, and and they like cross. They cross realities to where you're kind of moving forward, but in a reverse kind of movement. And he also has this thing where he doesn't explain anything through dialogue or exposition whatsoever. And we got out of the movie like, man, I think that was awesome. I think it was really good. Like, I think it could have been, or I think it might have been good, but I don't know what the hell happened during that, like the course of that entire movie. And there was just those moments to where you were thinking like, okay, I'm picking up on something. And then something else would happen. And you're like, but why? And it's just, I think that's why it didn't get as good reviews as Inception, because I feel like going back and watching Inception, it's like an episode of Sesame Street where you understand completely. Like you're just sitting there for like, it's just easy to understand.
Okay.
There was parts in Inception to where I was like, man, this is kind of messing with my mind right now. But that was the entirety of Tenet. And it was just an odd first trip back to the movies. Cause I think if you wanted to go to the movies, I think it would be fine, because it's that point where people are like, well, I don't want to go back. So the theaters are going to be empty. There's just something about going to the movie theater that I enjoy instead of watching something at home. But it was an odd first trip back to the movies.
Yeah. That might be good. I used to love going to the movies, and as I've gotten older and more sick of people in general, there is inevitably going to be someone in the movie that's going to drive me crazy. You know what I mean? Because
just from like rappers and
phones and
phone, yeah.
And just being last time we went to the movies, we sat close to the back, and there was an employee, he worked there, who kept coming into the movie for like 10 minutes at a time to eat. He would sit down in the back with whatever his snack of choice was for that particular trip, and sit back there and go for like, and I would just turn around and just stare at him like, you work here, dude. Like, what are you doing?
He would just go into a theater to like munch?
He would come into the movie. I don't know. I guess he was trying to watch the movie. It was going on too long for it to have been a break. It was the entire movie for 10 minutes at a time, and then he'd get up and go do something else. But he'd come in with a snack, plop down in the chair, and smack food like he was trying to drown the movie out. It's like every time I go, it feels like there's something like that going on. So I'm just kind of like, lost interest in
feel
going
like-
to the movies.
I feel like once people start going out to do things again, the lack of social interaction and the lack of just like being around each other is just going to turn into something like whether you're passive aggressive or you're just outright rude. I feel like people are gonna. People were rude in anyways, but I think the lack of social interaction for these last 6 months, almost a year.
Or you like just forgot how to interact with people in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
When y'all said rappers, I didn't understand if you were talking about food, and I immediately thought like, why do rappers being in a movie bother you? He's like, oh yeah, like rappers. I was like,
They're just in the back,
freestyling over
sitting
the
in the chair watching the movie.
yeah, like okay,
Like, hey,
maybe
shut
if he
up.
was like if he was rapping, yeah, but that guy looks like a rapper, and I'm so ticked off right now.
It reminds me of that Tom Segura joke when he was like, "Hey, this is a movie or something." What are you talking about?
Oh,
being
the
in
dude.
movie theater?
Yeah. The dude with the baby or whatever.
Yeah.
You fucking picture him.
I was thinking the other day, like, I was thinking what like comedian kind of mirrors my sense of humor. I've thought about it a little bit, and I don't know. I feel like Tom Segura is a little bit more aggressive than what I would be in terms of like just blatant, like outright, this is how I feel. Like, I'm going to make a joke about this and not care what anybody thinks. I don't know. And then I thought of Gigs, and you've got like the Jesselnick, Tosh kind of.
Don't
Bo
tell him who
Burnham.
he is.
I don't know. I was wondering. I was wondering what y'all thought of like what comedian where like you get your like humor from.
I like all comedy.
Your list of 3 was solid. My first thought is that I probably feel like I relate to most to Bo Burnham. I used to say, if you think I'm funny, you'll like Bo Burnham because he's a much smarter, more clever version of me. I feel like, yeah, there's been a couple jokes he's had that I had before I knew who he was, and he just formed them way better. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
put them through the process. Like I used to have this thing about Hitler and juice. And there being something lost in the accent. Yeah.
Oh.
Finish your juice. His last thing his mom said to him before she died was "finish your juice" or something. And he's got a song called "Little Adolf" where he does a whole little bit about the juice and separate them by concentration and all this goofy stuff. But just the same type of stuff, and that's happened multiple times with his jokes. So I would definitely say Bo Burnham would be like who I feel like I align with the most. But Jesselnick and Tosh are up there too.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Like Dave Chappelle's whole last skit, I came up with like all of that. I did all of that already in my head. And he's
The whole last season. I had it in my journal.
Well, if you're asking what comedian I look like, I would probably say John Mulaney.
Nope.
That's not the question. Okay.
I don't agree with it either.
Yeah, I don't
you
think
don't
you
think
look
so?
like John
No,
Mulaney.
not at all.
What comedian do I look like?
What comedian do you look like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I look like a comedian, it has to be John Mulaney.
Why?
What other comedian do I look like?
I think you look more like Tosh than you do John Mulaney.
I don't see that though. That's weird. I don't see that. at
Or
all.
like a younger Dane Cook.
Same
don't know.
vibe, I
Personally.
guess. I could.
Yeah.
Same vibe. You look like Carlos Mencia, so.
Who? Gigs?
No, you.
Carlos Mencia.
How's that?
I don't. I think you just came up with that.
You look like a fit Sam Kinison.
I don't know who Sam
I don't know
is.
what he looks like.
Chad,
You
Chad
look like
Bennett.
a healthy Sam
God.
Kinison to me.
Great. Hold on.
I'm talking to
Let's,
Achro, by the way.
oh, okay.
I really Ryan Hamilton had one of the best stand-ups I've seen on
Is that
Netflix
the
in
guy
a
that
while.
looks
It
like
was
the
good.
Joker when he smiles?
Yeah, the guy who looks kind of like Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, you watched it, Jay?
Yep.
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah, I was impressed.
It was such a good stand-up. Who I associate with or like find the funniest.
You tell me, and I'll tell you who I think you. Just
You tell me,
like
and I'll tell you the right answer.
You tell me, and I'll tell you you're wrong, and I'll tell you who you did.
Bye bye. I love you.
I'm not going anywhere.
I don't. You talking about like who I associate with? That's the question. Like where?
No,
like,
not who you associate with. Who like?
Well, like
who,
funny, like funny wise, like comedy, like my type of humor.
Who you feel like you relate to the most as a comedian?
Right.
Like if you were a comedian, which comedian tells the jokes you think you're most likely to tell? It makes sense.
Oh well, that's rough. Because if it's who I
yeah,
think
you're not very funny, so this is probably a pretty tough one.
That's not true. Because as far as like funny, it would be Joe Coy, but I feel like I couldn't get away with that because there's like a cancel white guys thing going on now, and he makes.
You obviously wouldn't
edgy jokes.
But you wouldn't make like what?
That's what I'm saying. Like
white guys make edgy jokes. Have you seen Anthony Justice?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen him do. But I really like John Mulaney's comedy too. Not only do I look like him, but I really enjoy his comedy. Zach Galifianakis, though. This is a dumb question. There's too many. This is a stupid question, and I don't want to answer it because there's too many.
Nate Bargatze.
He's great.
Yeah, but I got to see you too.
For Achro?
I think so. I think he's just got kind of like that not dad sense of humor because dad, I don't know. Like,
I know what you mean. Something
humor is typically like cheesy or whatever, but Nate Bargatze has that kind of like, we went to a reptile farm and I was like, no, thank you. I don't know. It's just
yeah, I see what you mean. Kind of like the delivery.
Yeah.
Something about the delivery is similar.
Yeah. I can appreciate. Yeah, I like jokes like that. Not dad jokes, but like kind of dumb, but it's funny because of the way it's delivered. Yeah,
he's great, man.
He was talking about people that like shame him for taking his kid to Disney when they're like 2, and they're like, you don't think? I mean, you don't think they're gonna remember anything, do you? And he's like, do I just lock away my kid until they remember things? Do I just put them under? Do I just put them in a closet and be like, hey, did you remember anything from today? No? Okay, we'll stay in there. And it's just like, that kind of reminded me of like,
yeah, Nate Bargatze's delivery is top notch. It's perfect. I get the impression he's either just naturally like that and he would talk like that all the time, or he puts a lot of effort into like setting a pace for his bits because they're really well done.
You know how I know you guys are misogynistic? Because all the comedians you picked had penises.
Sure.
Oh. Have y'all ever wanted to like pursue a career? Or not?
Which comedians that you named don't have a penis?
Stand-up comedy. He didn't let me finish.
You did finish.
You didn't let me finish.
You guys ever wanted to just wanted to like have a job?
Pursue a career in stand-up. But I was gonna say, I was stopping myself, but not necessarily pursue a career, but like do stand-up.
Yeah, Bobby tries to pressure me into it all the time whenever we see him. But I don't think I'm not funny. I mean, I'm kind of funny off the cuff. I think if I write something down, I could write a good joke. But I think stand-up, there's got to be a little more like off the cuff, witty, off the top of your head funny.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think because if you get into a situation where you're interacting with the crowd,
yeah, you need to be able to deal with hecklers well.
But always avoid that.
A stand-up routine
type of comedy, though.
Well, yeah,
a stand-up routine is very. It's like anything. They practice it constantly. They do it hundreds of times before they record a special. You know what I mean? They get it down to an art.
Yeah. No, well, then to answer your question, I don't think I'm funny enough to do stand-up.
Yeah, gigs.
Those guys are extremely funny.
I don't think I have this stage presence for it. I think I'm funny, and a lot of people, that's the default when someone thinks you're funny, is they say you should do stand-up. I don't know that I could. I don't know that I have that stage presence to like carry a crowd. I could probably write some funny jokes and get up and do a decent bit, but I don't know that I have that like have a crowd sit and listen to me for however long energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's why a lot of people do things like this and have their own like YouTube channel or things like that. It's just they have a different type of humor that doesn't necessarily translate to a stage. I think that's pretty good.
I mean, I
Pretty
think I
good.
could work on it if I wanted to. And
Yeah,
there's definitely an appeal, but I don't know.
I was surprised to learn the other day that my dad has like not tried, but thought about it to a point where he was like standing in front of a mirror and like did like a routine and tried to and there's obviously only
Your
so much you
dad's-
can do.
Your dad's funny enough though. Like your dad is goofy enough, and he just has a look like he looks like he could be.
He has enough like physical, like he does he has the kind of body language and the kind of just the comedic like physical this sounds so rude, but it's not like comedic physical presence that like I guess that's not rude.
He looks like an idiot. So
yeah, no.
I don't want to be rude, but he's funny looking.
No, that's not what I mean. But he said he told me he's like practiced, just like walking around and delivering jokes and stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool. And that's something that I feel like he would be pretty good at. But I thought I would be good at directing and stuff, and I work in a machine shop, so so yeah, I don't know. I always thought that was my dream career, but
Directing?
I think yeah.
no, being a comedian.
Not when I was younger though. When I was younger, I wanted to be a marine biologist. And that was just like it was a solid it was a solid choice that I had made from middle school to the end of high school, to where I was like, I want to do this. And God, I got so distracted by that. You're such an idiot. I hate you so much.
What happened?
Gibson's ass was in frame and he was like poking his butthole with his fingers.
I don't know how I missed that.
Not like
Thank you, Gigs, for being actually engaged with what I was saying. I appreciate
not
that.
actually poking the butthole, but
Sure.
But that was something I always wanted to do from like middle school up to high school, where it was like, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to go to school for. And then I guess I fell in love with movies, and that's like something movies. I always wanted to do. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I love movies so much that I'm going to spend a lot of money on classes and college in Memphis, Tennessee to possibly do something like that. And I just never popped off. But I think
how did you get into that?
I don't know. I think it's just like and Memphis isn't a terrible spot to do it.
No, I feel like there's some good shots to be had there. What do you have to make independent films and put them in festivals and try to get noticed?
Probably something like that, or be like a PA on a set of like maybe a large production that's coming into town. That would probably be a little bit along those lines. But there's there's a ton of news stations that they're like, just get your feet wet and be a cameraman at a news station. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I feel like that would make me hate.
Yeah, I hate when my feet are wet.
No, I hate you. But I think if I could, I don't know. I just, there was something about marine biology that I think if I had the chance, I would go back and like go to school for it. And not like work at SeaWorld or something like that. Not saying that that's not a bad thing to do, but just like, I don't know, maybe kind of cross paths with the two and maybe do like some kind of like wildlife photography or something like that.
I have to call my wife. She said she's broke down. Give me just a second.
Rip the dream.
And action.
Put that in.
It's in.
Basically, like, I don't know. I was just curious to whether y'all had like a profession that y'all wanted to do, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, but like a legitimate one, I guess. Like if you like the decision that you made when you knew that, or you thought that you knew what you wanted to do, and like, I don't know.
Basically, what did we want to be when we grew up?
Pretty much.
Okay, Achro.
I think for a long time I wanted to be a lawyer. I think from like 12 or like 11 to like 14, I was like, I'm going to be a lawyer because I like to argue with people. I thought that was like what lawyers do, is they argue and
No
just
way.
and get their point, or get their way. And then I don't know, I guess like high school happened and I started doing like MMA, and so I thought like, oh well, I'll just do that. And then I quit doing that, and then I was like 17, and I was like, well, what do I do now? It's like, I'll join the military. So I don't know. I never really had like I'm gonna be this when I grow up. It was just super fluid.
It was like what you wanted to do at that current moment.
Yeah. But I think like I guess early childhood dream was to be a lawyer, as weird as that is, I guess.
Interesting. What's that?
Yeah, I had to clear my throat, and I felt like I was like going out.
My grandmother used to tell me a lot I should be a lawyer, because I like to argue a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I always have not liked the idea of like punching a clock. I never really wanted to do anything that involved me punching a clock. The first big thing I had was football. I was where'd he go? Well, that looks weird in the record. Now I'm in your square and half of you is in my square.
That's reversed. We're gonna have to start it over. You'll have to. Oh well, no, you can flop them, right? You can move them.
I can move them in OBS.
Unless it's just easier to start the call over.
It might be easier to start the call over. The first thing I really pursued was football. I got pretty serious about wanting to play football as I was getting older, and I actually, so the combine, the NFL combine would like do this thing where you could apply to be in the combine, because I didn't go to college. So I sent all my stuff off and got approved. You had to send them videos of you doing certain drills, and I sent all that off and got approved to go to the combine and try out. And then there was, I don't remember the exact details. There was some sort of change where my age disqualified me from doing it.
How old were you?
I was around 18. So I don't know if, I don't remember. It's been a long time. I don't remember all the details, but I remember them sending me a letter saying I was approved, and I was stoked about it. So I kept training. And I mean, like my brother was like, I'll support you while you train if you'll, let me train you and take care of me when you make it to the NFL, basically.
Yeah, that's
so I trained like 8 hours. It trained like a full-time job. He took care of I didn't have a lot of bills. I had a cell phone and stuff like that. But like, it was a serious thing. So we got approved and we were stoked. And then a few weeks later, I got another letter that there was some adjustment to something, and I couldn't do it until the next year. And we were both like,
you were
well, we
too
can't.
Old, man.
We
You gotta be like
maybe
15.
Yeah. But we were like, we can't do this for a whole other year. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So quit that. I've tried a lot of, start your own business type things over the years. And then the last big thing I got serious about was fighting. I started training to fight, and I was pretty close to where I was going to start shopping my first fight, try to get some at the casinos, on one of those cards. And then I got that hernia, that inguinal hernia that not only sucks, but then it took way longer to get better than it was supposed to. I still hurt sometimes. I think he did something wrong in the surgery. So there's times where I feel a lot of pressure there still, and it sucks. It's
Those iguana hernias are rough.
They are, man.
That's my joke.
Oh, does it?
But it all worked out because now I'm doing, YouTube and Twitch and stuff, which is, I've been chasing that for years now. So
You're gonna be pretty happy doing it too. So
yeah, I'm exactly where I want to be. I love making content, and
it's awesome.
Yeah,
it is funny though, like the college dilemma, because like I didn't go to college either. I mean, I'm successful AF, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, but not really. But really, like my option was like I didn't go to school so that Taylor could go to school, and that panned out for both of us because she got a good job. But then I did the punch the clock thing. Like I did that for 10 years almost. And now I've got a cushy job where I make dang good money.
You like doing it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I feel like I should say I did the punch the clock thing too for a long time. Sometimes 3 jobs at a time.
What are some examples like that you did?
If you don't have to go to school for it, I've probably had the job.
Okay.
I've had more jobs than anybody would believe. After the Army, that settled down, but I was real bad about job hopping prior to the Army.
All right. The 3 worst ones you had.
3 worst ones.
All right. So I guess, okay. So give me one that you really enjoyed, and then what one that just was awful.
So I enjoyed the animal hospital that I worked in for a long
talked about
time.
that a few times.
I just think of the TV show. I cannot think of anything except for that like dramatic TV show.
General Hospital?
No, isn't there like an animal hospital on like it was on like Pet Cemetery? What was or Animal Planet? What was the name of the channel?
The Pet Cemetery Network? Yeah, I don't know if that was a thing.
Was there not an animal hospital show?
I don't know, man. I feel like you're trying to talk. I know you're not talking about General Hospital, but that's the only one I can think of.
I don't know what you're
Animal
talking about.
Hospital was a thing, and every time you say it, I'm like, you were on that TV show?
It's like Days of Our Lives.
No,
but in a
they're
veterinary
real
office.
things.
I know that. I know an animal hospital is real, but no one says the words animal hospital. And maybe it's just the way you say it. It's like, yeah, when I was on Animal Hospital, that's just, I don't know.
When I was
I
on
never
their
said I was
television
on
production of
Animal Hospital.
You guys ever seen
So what did you do? What did you do at the animal hospital?
I started in the kennel, just taking care of the animals, feeding them and walking them and making sure they were good after surgeries and stuff. And then over time
you
they
good?
just peek in like, yeah. But over time they train me to be a vet tech. So you can go to school and get certified and all that, or they call it being hand raised as a vet tech, and that's what they did with me. They just kind of pulled me out of the kennel and taught me how to be a vet tech. So I was doing that when I left, and I really liked working there until the fact that it was being managed poorly started to catch up, and then I hated it. Then it was miserable. They kept it understaffed.
Seems to be a common deterrent. If it's being managed poorly, you just get out of there.
Yeah, it was
That's everywhere. God, that sucks.
Just understaffed.
Especially if you enjoyed doing it and you had management that you enjoyed working for, and then people make you hate what you do.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah, it started out great and I loved it, and then just over time, it wore out. But I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say if you don't have to go to school to do it, I've probably been hired to do it.
Well, and that's another point. Like you said, you were hand raised to be a vet tech, and you could spend I don't know how many thousands of dollars to go to school and a lot of time to do that, or you could just get in there and it's all application. It's all application.
Yeah. There's like younger people. I mean, not like on the regular, but I've had conversations with some younger people who are like, I don't know if I should go to school, and in my head, there's basically 2 ways you can go to school, and if you do, get a very specific degree that's applicable. Don't get a degree in, I don't know, like feelings. Get a degree in accounting or electrical engineering. Something.
You're talking about like a business degree.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have
like
to be
a marketing degree.
You could get a doctorate. Just something that is actually applicable that there's a need for.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just like a vague, like business marketing or whatever degree that people get when I feel like when somebody says they have a business degree, like they couldn't think of anything else to get. That's like the degree that people get to like work your way up at a corporation or something like that.
To have the piece of paper.
Exactly.
So do that, or start at a company and work your ass off till you get to the top.
Right.
And so I kind of did that, but not at the same company, if that makes sense. Like I started like bottom of the bottom. Like when Taylor and I first got together, I was a cashier at Home Depot. And then I was a electrician and worked my way up to be a lead electrician. And then I worked at Firestone and then worked my way into management at Firestone. And now I am doing what I'm doing now. But it was a grind. I mean, it's been 10 years of hard work.
Yeah, that was part of the reason that I job hopped the way I did is because every job I ever got, I always did it well. It was just a thing. I was gonna be the best employee.
Yeah.
And it would be great as long as it felt appreciated. But the minute that I stopped feeling appreciated at a place, I'd be like, well, all right, time to start looking for something. I'm not gonna come in and work hard.
Yeah, moving on. Let's go.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That was part of it was just me being stupid and you know, dumb kid. And my brother used to job hop a lot, and I thought everything my brother did was awesome. That was one of the things I thought, well, he don't take no shit. I won't take no shit.
I mean, that's not, I don't think that's a bad thing either. Cause I had the same mentality. Like if I do something, I'm gonna do good at it, especially at work, because that's how I make my money. So,
yeah. I'll be damned if anyone's ever going to say I wasn't doing my job well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not going to happen.
Well, I went like when I was working at, it's funny. I forget that you also did tires.
Yeah.
But like when I worked at Firestone, I moved into management. I wasn't even there for 2 years. So like that, yeah, I definitely get that. Like I'm going to be the best. You're not going to do better than me. For a long time, it was stupid and cheesy, but my motto was I'm the best around and nobody's better than me. But on the flip side of that, the same motto is I'm getting my ass kicked by the other guy and I'm going to step it up. So kind of dumb,
sure.
but it worked for me.
I mean, it's just that natural feeling of competition. Like I feel like each of us are pretty competitive and you know want to be the best and want to win and be successful.
I'm competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the most competitive.
And I feel like I went from Firebirds to operating a machine that not a lot of people know how to do, and I worked my way up, and now I'm in management, and I firmly believe that it was of course the training I received, but more than that, it's my work ethic and my desire to kick ass. And
yeah, I don't know how people go to work and do a crappy job.
Yeah, like you work for yourself. Like you make your own money. Like you make your money for yourself.
Yeah.
Like
and how it's tolerated. It always drove me nuts to be at work doing my thing and having someone not doing anything. It's like, why do you get to be here and do this? Like,
right.
Do something.
Socialism.
I don't know. Pisses me off.
Yeah.
We hired people in the kennel sometimes that would just kind of chill while the rest of us were running around sweating. It's like, get up! It's an animal hospital, dude.
This is a TV show, damn it.
You get to...
You want to get anywhere in Hollywood?
Yeah, and you get to that point to where you're like, hey, maybe do something. Maybe do something, you know, maybe work for the money that you're getting paid instead of, and, you know, I'll throw you under the bus. I swear to God, if you're doing a shitty job, then I'm gonna let people know, whether it's passive aggressively or just straight up like, hey, I want them out of my area because they suck.
Right.
Or I literally throw them under a vehicle.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or like, do I look really good in this shirt? I'm not being like narcissistic.
It's a pretty good shirt.
So anyways, it's a nice Henley you got there, bud.
All hen.
Don't.
Yeah.
Stop right there. So speaking of working at animal hospital and working with animals, do you value their lives over the people that you worked with?
Oh God.
That's not in a literal sense, but like, you know, people are like, man, I would have rather like in a movie when a dog or like something gets hurt, you're like, I'd rather the person. I didn't feel anything when that guy died, but the dog, F me up, you know?
Yeah. It's a loaded question. Because
I think I actually have formed a
Answer the
thesis on it,
question.
but Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I value any life,
Mm.
even plant life. I'm of the belief that if it's alive, even if I don't understand the degree completely to which it's alive, I shouldn't decide that it's less than me, right? Or less than people. Right. So like,
I mean, I'm not going to go stomp around in a flower bed, you know?
Yeah. So I think to value them over people's lives, maybe logically, because I think there's a much higher likelihood that people are guilty of something.
Yes.
You know, there's a much higher likelihood that people deserve whatever's coming their way. And I feel like in general,
to an extent,
non-human life is relatively innocent, right?
Yeah.
We might think,
there goes my whole thesis.
We might think what they're doing seems, when we watch a lion, eat a gazelle alive or something, it's like, oh, that's horrible, but it's just the way it is. It's not with an evil intent.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah. So I guess overall I do. I don't know that means if you put me in a situation to choose a dog over a person, I would choose the dog. But
that would be like the ultimate extreme. But
Yeah, but I think in general, life in general has the same value to me. I just think non-human life tends to be more innocent.
I just had a very a dark thought. Like, I'm obviously gonna, if Jones is hanging off the edge of a cliff and Josh is hanging off the edge of the cliff, I'm gonna grab Josh.
Yeah.
Whoever that is.
Yeah, whoever the hell Josh is.
and it just look, I got personal there for a moment. Okay.
You should edit it to where it's Achro. Yeah.
But it's kind of challenging to have that scenario in my head, and I'm like, well, but it's just, it shouldn't be that way, obviously. And I think,
I think
ultimate decision,
like Gigs said, it's the innocence thing. Like when a dog dies in a movie, you're emotional because it was it's just a little dog. Like it never did. He ain't did nothing to nobody, But then a person, you're like, no, that jerk off, he was mean to Molly. There's like, even if to a certain degree, there's a contrast there.
They probably did something
also,
to deserve it at some point. You know what I mean?
And also like the vulnerability, like an animal, what is an animal going to do to defend itself other than gnash its teeth?
Sure.
I mean, walk up to a bear.
Well, bears are obviously evil. That's different.
Yeah. When we're watching something, when Emily and I are watching something, you talk about somebody getting hot. If something happens to an animal, she's done. She's done. It is like, it's not like, you see it and you're like, oh man, that sucks, and you're upset, but she's like
throwing
done.
dishes.
She'll stop watching a show. She's done. She does not play that game to any degree. If there's mention of it, if someone's talking about doing it, she's like looking at me out of the side of her eyes.
Like, this podcast, well, it's like Fallout 4. You got your little dog buddy. Like I feel like I'd rather somebody shoot the wanderer than shoot my dog. What did my dog do to you?
Get real tight when my dog companion dies in Fallout. Like, oh, it's on now.
See,
he ain't do nothing to nobody.
It's odd because I'll watch Homeward Bound and then be real sad when Shadow falls in that mud pit. But in Last of Us 2, those German Shepherds are the first one to go, and I'll tell you that right now. If they're the ones that track me down first, and I will shoot an explosive arrow directly at them.
Oh God!
To get rid of them. And it's
here, boy, here.
Because I'll sit there, and I'll go, I'm sorry. And I'll pull the trigger.
When you reached over my imagination went wild. I thought you were about to pull out this little tiny bow and arrow and show us like
Just come back up with a dog.
Oh my God.
What on the flip side of this discussion, there's on topics like this, there's the side of me that's me and here participating and everything, and then there's a purely logical point of me that wants to say, I don't value any life because I don't think anything matters logically. So those both exist at the same time in my head. On one hand, I'm like, I don't squash a bug or pull leaves off a plant as I'm walking past, but also,
What does it matter?
yeah, the logical point's like, who gives a shit? It's not gonna. Earth is
it
gonna
just
be gone.
depends on your philosophy, I
It
guess.
sounds like you got some
Yeah, there's
constant battles. You're like, this is
It's-
up, man. I don't.
it's a problem up here, man.
All right, do I kill the spider or do I let it bite me? I don't know what to do.
There's this beetle on me. Do I just no? But if I just,
Yeah, I stay finding bugs and putting them outside, and then the whole time in my brain, I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway.
Well, there's also like yesterday, there's those panic situations. Like yesterday, I was picking E up from daycare and I felt something on my ear. I'm gonna swat.
Well,
I'm not going, this might be a living thing.
no,
Like, I'm
yeah.
swatting.
There's impulse. I do the same thing.
Yeah,
And
it's
if a
a
gnat's in my
knee-jerk
face or a
reaction,
fly, if I'm trying to eat and a fly, I'm like, dude, like
I'm sorry.
my big thing is like, you got the whole world. You got the whole world to be in. Get out of my face.
Isn't that weird? Real quick, isn't that weird? I will walk out into my backyard and there will be like bugs everywhere, and I'm like, how many of you are there? There's the whole. You're
Dude.
telling me there's enough bugs to occupy every square footage of the earth? How are you in my yard? Go
Yeah.
somewhere
Terrifying.
else.
Dude, when I lived in Georgia, and in the summer I would be outside, and like I'd be out working out or playing ball or something, and the gnats, it was like a haze. So I would start to walk. I would walk away, and then I would turn around and swing my arm in a straight line, and there'd be a line of dead gnats just on my arm, and it's like, leave me alone.
But also, like, is that like magnified? Is that the whole like land mass of the world? It's just covered in gnats that we can't see.
They're always ready. They're always waiting.
Like, how are there so many?
Like, go do something else.
just put on like, just like say there was like a pair of glasses that you could put on where you could just see any insect that ever lived, like in your area, and you're like,
It's just
just it's insane.
Bugs are crazy, man.
All right, so what's the saddest part in a movie that you've seen where an animal has gotten hurt, where you're just like, I can't do this anymore?
Oh my god, I don't want to ruin this. I'm gonna ruin it
What
for
movie?
you.
What
Jay.
movie?
It's not a movie. It's a game. Because I am that type of person who, if I'm watching or like engaging in something, I get fully immersed.
It's immersed, yeah. It's immersion, yeah.
Spoilers ahead for Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh. No! No. Stop.
I don't plan on playing it, so
So that's fine if he doesn't listen. If you're not gonna play it, that's fine. But they give you, I think maybe we talked about this. They give you this horse and they let you name the horse. You heard it. Why were you listening?
Bro, I was trying to gauge like where you were, and you were like, I put my headphone on. And you just go horse, and I was like, no, mother f.
So yeah, they like you like engage with this horse throughout the whole game. Like there'll be like little like snippets where my horse was named Nobu, so the main character would be like, "You're a good horse, Nobu," and it's just like so it creates this connection. And then halfway through the game, you're like fleeing for your life, and you catch like 2 arrows in the back, and then it cuts, and you're like halfway hanging off the horse as he's like trying to trot, and then you both fall down, and the horse doesn't get up. And I'm getting emotional talking about it. I was so mad, I almost quit the game and didn't play it. Because it's so good, because I will probably remember that for a very long time.
yeah.
So it was well written, but damn it, if I didn't want to like rip that game up. If it was a physical copy, I might have done it because it was like, it got me. It got me good.
I'm so fucking bummed right now.
It's a tough question. The first thing that popped into my head was a Never-Ending Story.
Oof,
Atreyu?
Archex, the horse.
Which one's Atreyu?
Atreyu is the kid.
Okay,
He's a
yeah.
boy.
Yeah, the horse in Never-Ending Story was a big
Ooh,
one. That hit pretty
man.
hard.
So, for some reason, I had the Elephant March song from Jungle Book stuck in my head, and the dude was like, "Is that Jungle Book?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh man, I love that movie." He said, my favorite Disney movie is Fox and the Hound." And I'm like, "What?
Oh my god.
How?"
Whew.
And immediately just had flashbacks of that old bitch leaving that fox in the middle of the road and driving off.
Fox and the Hound
What?
is one of the most intense Disney movies
Yeah.
of all time. That's a
He
rough
was like,
one.
"That's my favorite Disney movie."
God.
I watch that shit all the time. And I
Did
was
you
like,
punch him in the gut?
I was like,
Probably.
no, I looked at him. I was like, how?
Yeah.
How is that your favorite? Do you hate yourself? Do you want
Yeah.
yourself to feel miserable?
That
I've only
and,
seen
and
it
All Dogs
twice.
Go to Heaven.
Screw that movie. Screw that
Intense,
movie.
man.
That's a-
Intense. I
That
won't
movie
watch
used to
them
scare
again. Like I
me.
saw them when I was younger, and
It's
that's
a rough
it.
one.
Yeah, I won't watch it because it
Um,
scared the hell out of me. The devil dog. When he goes to the dog hell and there's the dog Satan, I was like, this is terrifying. I hated
Damn
that.
devil, the damn Satan dog. I hate it.
I hated that.
So I
Beelzebub.
think, all right, so the nice. 8. That was good. I think the worst one that got me to where I think I was at an impressionable age where I was just out of the theater, just distraught and bawling. And people were like waiting to go see the movie, and they were like, "Do you just want to go?" Like, was 8 Below with Paul Walker and the sled dogs.
I don't
It
think
was
I've seen that.
it was a Disney movie.
I know
was gonna
of
say, is
it.
that a Disney movie?
I don't think I've seen
It
it.
is. It is. It's called 8
haven't
Below,
seen it.
and so the sled dog movies are always terrible because I'm like, these dogs are tired. Let them just chill for a sec. And they don't even have little booties on to their feet are cold. But anything bad that could happen to a dog in that movie happened multiple times, and it was just like, I don't like this. It ended it didn't even like end happy. There were only like, I'm just gonna ruin it for you. There were only
Oh,
like 3
spoilers.
dogs left. Yeah, it came out in like like 07. And just like any possible thing that could happen to a dog, it just happens. And I was miserable, and it was the worst experience of my life. It was terrible.
Why are we on like these depressing
I was gonna say Emily's gonna hate this episode. She's not gonna
Well,
like this. I'll tell you one people sleep on: the raccoon in Ace Ventura 2.
bro.
That's a hitter right there.
I forgot about that one until you just brought it up. Thanks a lot for that. And like, it was supposed to be funny.
too much?
It was supposed to be funny because it was the cliffhanger Sylvester Stallone kind of parody, but it was a raccoon, and it was like he was like holding on to his little paw, and it was slipping.
Oh man, Emily's gonna hate this episode, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, Em.
Your balls are showing.
What a great movie. All right. So
I feel like that never works for you.
yeah,
Like you do it and then it's just nothing changes. There you go.
That's it. You gotta mean mug it.
always works.
Why
Works
the
100% of the time, every time.
Well,
All right.
60% of the time.
Nope. I changed it up. So sequels that are better than the original. Point, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Yeah. Man, that's
feel like-
tough too.
I feel like for a long time I knew one and I carried that example around.
Empire.
Why? I don't know. Well, yeah, Star Wars, but
That's like number 1.
I don't know. Because it's not very often, but there was one like in the last like year or two where I was like, dang, that was way better than the first one.
Oh yeah, I'm
I can't
blanking on this
remember
one.
it
Did you just ask a question that you don't have an answer to?
No, mine was
I don't know either.
mine was Ace Ventura.
Okay.
That's the one I always go back to. Like I know 100% was better than the first one. That I have never had a person say the opposite.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oof. I said
touch
forget
that
about it.
Leave that alone.
He's just trying to.
Little jerk.
He's just trying to
About
get his
bad
strum
things
on,
about
man.
to happen to animals.
Ah,
Man, yeah.
Oh God, Emily's gonna hate this one.
I tell you what. Let's Google it.
Better like sequels that are better than the original.
Okay, why don't then you Google it then? How about that?
Leprechaun 2.
I've never seen.
I haven't seen him either.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently Jennifer Aniston was in the first one though.
Yes, she was.
Holy crap, man. There we go. Let's see what's on the list. 35 sequels better than the original. Oh, Batman.
Batman Returns. Oh, you talking about the recent one?
Yes.
I'm looking at 19 sequels that are better than the original, and they say Batman Returns is better than the original '89 Batman.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it's obviously an opinion piece.
Are
But,
those
it's
sequels?
huh?
I guess
Are
a
those sequels?
sequel.
Well,
It doesn't.
technically, you could say that the original Batman and Batman Returns are sequels because it's Michael Keaton as
Okay, fair
Batman.
enough.
But
Yeah.
is a sequel like? Is there a word for? Or maybe the question I'm going to ask is weird. Is sequel simply the second movie in a trilogy or a series, or does sequel apply to any movie afterwards?
No, I think a
I mean,
remake is
it
different.
has to be related. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, if there's a trilogy, is the
Yeah.
is the sequel simply the second movie? Is
No.
that like derivative, or a sequel is like any movie afterwards?
Any movie in the franchise, because
I think it's
Harry
just
Potter
the
and the
next
Prisoner
one.
of Azkaban is on that list as well as better than the first one.
Dude, the first
Wait,
one.
That's obviously debatable, but
The first one was pretty fire there.
yeah.
But yeah, I was talking about the Dark Knight. Well, if that's the case, then so I could pick any like the Thor movies. Ragnarok was way better than
Like
but that's also
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is better than the original Indiana Jones.
top notch, the best one.
It's the only one I liked. That helped. I haven't seen them all,
Really?
but I've seen a couple of them. I'm not into it.
I really didn't think it was like disgustingly bad. People
I
crapped on it.
I enjoy it. The end got
it
a
was
little bit
fine.
intense. The end
Yeah,
was a
like
little
this-
much, but
the second half was like, this is weird.
I
but
enjoyed it.
It's like a bad movie.
That's how I felt during Tenet. Is that like in the Crystal Skull when the knowledge that they gave her was too much, where her head exploded? That's how I felt watching Tenet.
Planet of the Apes. Even though the first one was fantastic, the second one was just better.
Dawn.
Yeah,
Dawn of the
new
Planet of the
like
Apes.
the new series. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
All right. Well, I
Um,
killed that topic.
Captain America,
I don't remember those movies.
Winter Soldier was better than the first one. I think Civil War was also better than the first. Like I don't know. I
Civil
think
War was dope.
they just got better.
I mean, original Iron Man is still the best Marvel movie.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
It is up there.
Because number one, it's so good, and it's like now it's just so there's so many movies. I can't remember what's what.
It's
But
all
I remember-
convoluted now.
I remember the first one. I remember like Iron Man being good, and then it set the precedent for all the other movies. So Iron Man, in my opinion, is the
Robert
best
Downey
movie.
Jr. just slayed
He killed
Perfect.
it. Yeah.
the role.
Yeah, perfect.
You know, here's a 100%. Christmas Vacation was better than Vacation.
For sure. What do you mean? What do you mean? Eh.
The first Vacation was really good.
It was good, but Christmas Vacation is like the
He
best
said,
Christmas movie. There's not a better Christmas comedy.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Elf.
You should feel more. You should feel strong. Oh God, Elf is really good, but I don't think it's better.
Hmm.
You should feel more strongly about the way I feel.
Your opinion should mirror mine.
Yeah. So, the 2020 debates on our topic list.
Absolutely not.
Vince just looked like he just saw a ghost.
Oh, what the hell?
My wife just decides to peek in like on every episode. She's like,
Sorry, that was a bad vengeance impression. What the hell? That's a better.
Hey, y'all.
Vengeance. Hey y'all, it's Vengeance, and today we're gonna play some Fall Guys.
That's so dumb.
Top notch.
Yeah. Not me.
It sounds just like you.
It's a different vengeance.
Okay.
I mean that's kind of all the topics that I had.
All right.
Is there anything
should
I
go-
wanted to talk
See y'all
about?
later.
Yeah. All right. Adios.
No,
I think it's about that time anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Go back and listen. Go back and watch the podcast. Tell me you don't sound like that.
I don't sound like that.
I'll black out the screen when you do it, and people will think it's vengeance.
Oh man.
All right, y'all got anything you want to plug? Anything you got going on?
I'm feeling a little depressed. I'm not gonna go watch a sad movie. That's for sure.
Oh, I was like, all right. Well, I guess we're talking about it. Let's go. What do we got?
No.
I'm kind of feeling a little some kind of way.
Yeah, stream over at twitch.tv/Achro, and I'm in a very heavy depression.
Just talk about these topics, man.
Go ahead, hit him.
Yeah, I will hit them. Yeah, we're twitch.tv/achromatic_x. We've been pretty consistent. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays. We're gonna skip Thursdays most of the time. I guess for a while it's mainly gonna be raid, and we're gonna be doing an account giveaway, so that'll be fun. Pretty decent account. So you guys come check me out there. Come check me out on the old YouTube. Same name, same bat place.
So I'm pretty much just gonna send my computer back because I feel like that's like the only choice that I have.
That's a weird plug.
Well, I was gonna plug my Twitch, but I haven't been streaming
Yeah.
for a minute. But when I get it back, we're gonna be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at twitch.tv/IM_vengeance. The word vengeance is capitalized.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna say it every fucking time, so get over it. Just ordered some emotes, so
Nice.
those are in the works. I'm pretty excited about it. So hopefully, yeah, that's all. I'm not on YouTube or anything, so
Well, there you
And
go.
then my friend down here, this guy.
Who you point? Oh, right. Okay. It's different in the Zoom window.
Oh,
I'm above you in the Zoom window.
that's what you think.
All right. Well, good episode. It's fun. Have a good one.
keep it cheesy.
Sure.
Chris. All right, I guess this is for real. Goodbye. All right.